So you're looking for lakeside living, but quite honestly, you're not sort of seeing it in Charlottesville. Well, don't miss today because we're going to head out only about 15 miles, but we're going to check out and do a drive and tour of Lake Monticello. So come on, join me. Perfect day. Right now it's 98 degrees and I wish I was on the lake. Come on, let's go. Lake Monticello, there are three major ways that you can get to Lake Monticello. One is going to be coming out 53 directly. One would be coming up 53 and cutting over, going down Milton Road. One would be coming on 64, cutting over onto Black Cat Road. So there are a multitude of ways to get here. Why is that a big deal? Well, because most of the roads, obviously not 64, that's an interstate, but 53 and most of the other roads are going to be 2 lane, 1 lane going in each direction. So should it be part of the school year, you get behind a bus. Should there be an accident, you get stuck in an accident traffic. There are multiple ways that you can get to and from Lake Monticello. You know I love a good schlep factor, right? So it really could not be a better day to be lakeside living, quite honestly. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 90s. I just pulled into one of the main amenity areas. So I want to show you everything that is down and around here. So the first thing you're going to see here is actually that this clump of amenities is really centrally located. You actually see a lot of people walking here. You actually see several people biking here. And then of course you see a ton of people driving here. There are houses all the way down. This is going to be, you're seeing here, the main beach area. So it has its own umbrellas. And then also the pool is here. Now the pool is not part of the general HOA. It is a separate fee that you have to join and pay to be a member of. But then the other thing is going to be, right here is the clubhouse. So the clubhouse, very nice. Got a lot going on. It also is where it holds the restaurant for Lake Monticello. So you actually do not have to be a resident to come into the restaurant. So if you were down here visiting, you could actually pop into the restaurant. I've heard nothing but good reviews. They've had their ups and downs like any restaurants, but currently from what I understand, it's on a very big. The next thing you're seeing here is the pool, the main pool. Sorry, I think we already showed you the main pool. So the clubhouse. Then right across from the clubhouse are going to be the tennis courts, and you can see there's quite a few of those. Next to that, going to be your basketball. You can see these are some brave souls playing basketball when it is 90 degrees in full sun. And a big part of Charlottesville, and I think, Charlottesville, I'm going to say, we do not hit our hottest until the afternoon. So between now and 4 o'clock, it's just going to keep rising. So right now is about the highest, but it's probably going to get another degree or 2 warmer. And then that's our highs for the day, as opposed to places that get to their highest at around noon, 10, 11, 12 noon. Our highest is in the late afternoon. So that's some brave kid. And then finally, this super cute little play area. This is for Lake Monticello residents. There's picnic facilities, grills, picnic tables. So they've got you all hooked up. All right, let's go see some more of Lake Monticello. So I just pulled into the main area, came through the main gate, and I just came straight ahead because I wanted to show you, as soon as you get into Lake Monticello, it is bam, it is there. So I had to park on the overflow parking because let's face it, it is 95 degrees and parking is full. But as I'm walking down here to the main beach, you can see that the little fingerling of different portions of Lake Monticello are everywhere. It's a very large lake, and so lakeside living is much more easy and quite honestly a lot more affordable than you may think. You can see and hear everything going on. Here's the main pool. We're going to walk over there later. So even just walking down through here, you can see good size variety of houses, but you can have everything from a small, honestly, I think the smallest house I've sold here has been about 1,100 square feet, and the largest house that I have shown has been pushing over 5,000. So right now, just entering the main beach area. Now, as any proper lake facility does, Lake Monticello actually has its own marina. So as you can see, there are spots that you can actually rent and hold your boat. Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually rent a kayak space for you to hold those on as well. And they actually have the full marina as far as gas and everything else. So that is a really cool aspect. Lake Monticello is one of the few gated communities in the Charlottesville area. And if you want to know about the other ones, go check out my video about gated communities in Charlottesville. There's only about a half a dozen of them around here. And Lake Monticello is one. It's actually one of the original ones. So you have the gated main portion of Lake Monticello, but then you also have a couple of sections, 3 or 4, I believe, that are located outside the gate and that you do not have to go through the gate or have a barcode to get into the section. That's actually where, when we bought our house, and we bought it new, and it was a colonial, very pretty. I thought it was beautiful. It was outside the gate, and it was down a road and down a cul-de-sac, because I am a cul-de-sac girl. But rarely did we ever see from or hear from the HOA unless we were late on the HOA payment or something. So I just pulled in at beach number 2. So we're going to walk around so you can see the differences. You've already seen the main beach, and it has a lot of nice things to it. Beach 2 is just tucked in because it is a really large neighborhood, and the 5 different beaches then allow the neighborhood to be able to enjoy laid back beach, lakeside living at its finest. So this one here actually has storage for canoes, paddle boards, things like that. And you can rent that spot. It's like a spot on a shelf. The other thing it has here is actually bathrooms that they have boy and girl bathrooms, so that if you need to use the restroom, you have easy peasy access to it. And there is parking. You can bring a tent. You can do all that. They have the one central umbrella that is for anybody and everybody. It's first come, first serve. Okay, here we go. We are back on Jefferson Drive, just pulling out from Beach 2. So again, the main thoroughfare is Jefferson Drive. This is the outer circle, and this will take you all the way around. If you wanted to, there are some areas, because it's not only the major lake. Remember, there's also a smaller pond called Tufton Pond, and that's considered a fishing pond. So Lake Monticello is what I would call an amenity-rich community. I would say a couple things about it. So the actual HOA is active. If you live on Jefferson Road, I would keep that into consideration, because you will be under a watchful eye of the HOA. Now, is that good, bad? I'm not the one to decide that. But if you don't want to get love notes from the HOA that say, please pull your trash can in on a more timely manner, then you may not want to live on Jefferson. You might want to consider one of the down streets, or potentially one of the outside sections of Lake Monticello. Clubhouse, restaurant, and golf course. So not only is this a beautiful, affordable lakeside living community, it's also home to an 18-hole golf course. And you've got all the amenities. You've got the golf shop, you have the driving range, you have putting green, you have all of that in your backyard. Now, the golf is absolutely separate from the standard HOA, but it is very affordable. So even if you just live in Fluvanna, or you want to play the golf course here, you can actually do that. But it is a beautiful golf course, and let's face it, today, driving around between a bunch of different lakes and on these beautiful greens, that's pretty much winning. Okay, let's see what's next. I'm turning back on to Jefferson and out of the golf and everything. So we are passing actually the Fairway Gate, which would be another one of the multiple barcode only gates. I don't want to go out of them because I actually I don't have a barcode, so I would have to come back through the front gate. And you've been there, done that. You've seen all that. So I will not make you do that again with me. So a big question that I get asked is, what kind of houses are in Lake Monticello? Well, I have to fully admit, I don't know if I could list them all. Because of the age, some of these houses go back to the early 70s. And some of them are actually still being built in 2024. They're one-off lots. So you have everything imaginable. You have some log cabin looking ones. You have those 70s looking A-frame houses. You have colonials. You have ramblers. You have you have all variety. So if you don't want cookie cutter, Lake Monticello might be a really good fit, because your next door neighbor may very well have log cabin-esque, and you could be running regular colonial. So it's a really big variety of homes that are available. The other size, or I'm sorry, the other part of that is the size of the homes. The homes in here really range from about 1,200 square feet all the way up to, I believe the largest one I have seen was 4,000, just over 4,000 square feet. In general, these houses are going to be 3 to 4 bedroom. Yes, you're going to have some that are 5 or 6 bedrooms. I think the condos may have 2 bedrooms, but I don't think there are any single family homes with 2 bedrooms. That's the other part of it. Lake Monticello is 98% single family home. So if you're looking for an attached housing arrangement or something like that, Lake Monticello will not be a good fit. The only attached housing that I know of in Lake Monticello are actually going to be the Lake Monticello condos that are located over by the marina. And there's about, I want to say that there's about 20 or 30 of those, maybe not that many. Great location. I think if those became available, those would be outstanding to have as a second home because they're right there by the marina. They see all the water, they see all the festivities. So I think those would be really cool. But for a nice size, well-wooded, established neighborhood, I think Lake Monticello has a lot going for it. So another thing about Lake Monticello is there's a lot of amenities and a full gamut of prices. I know we talked about some of the variety and some of the variety of homes, but you're going to be able to find something for every price point. I think the most expensive home that I've ever seen listed in this area, in the Lake Monticello community, has been just over $1 million, and that was for a totally redone waterfront home with a dock and a lot of amenities to it. I think it may have even had a pool to it. So it was very well proportioned and had all the bells and whistles you could have. But you can find a house. Now it's probably going to need love. I'm going to warn you about that. But you can regularly find houses in Lake Monticello in the mid to upper 200s. Now, again, you can't come into it thinking you're going to find a brand new, top of the line, new construction, everything is shiny and gleaming. No, $250, you're probably looking at a house that needs some love and attention. But you know what? As long as it's really move-in ready and you can tackle the projects one at a time, that really is part of how you build up wealth with home ownership. Because the reason you get it for $250 is because it does need everything updated. So one weekend you do a bathroom, another weekend you do another bathroom, then you save up and you have the kitchen redone. Or you have the floors, say they're carpeting, you have the carpeting replaced. There are lots and lots of things you can do to increase the equity in the house. Lake Monticello is a really good option for doing that. So now we're actually going to go down and I'm going to show you beach number 3. So this one is one of the ones that they just installed a new kayak paddleboard launch area. So it'll be fun to see what the update is and has been made to it. So welcome to beach number 3. Just pulled in, and as you can see, there's plenty of parking here. Restrooms, water fountain. It has the traditional, you can rent to store your canoes and kayaks. But this one is interesting because it also has the ability that you can actually pull up on the dock. So as you can see behind me, you can probably recognize that is the main beach that we were at earlier today. So we've driven about halfway around, gone all this way, all through that, and now we're about halfway around the lake. So you can see it's a really big lake. So if you want lakeside living, Lake Monticello might be right for you. Come on, let's go see some kids having fun. So one of the things, I don't know if you've noticed it as we've been driving through, but one of the things that is so obvious is the variety of people and families who live in Lake Monticello. Now everything, there, of course, it's Pride Month right now, so that may have increased some of it, but there were a ton of Pride flags, there were a ton of kids of all ages. We saw strollers, we saw kids biking to the pool, we saw all of that. There are retirees who live there, who have transplanted from up north. New Jersey, New York is a really common one. We get a lot of people from Ohio as well. So all of those, I mean, it's a mixing pot of people who live, because again, the houses are so varied and so affordable. So it's an option for so many people. Is it an option for you? I don't know. You're gonna have to give me a call, shoot me a text, let me know. We will chat and see if Lake Monticello is right for you. So here's a really common question. Who do you find living at Lake Monticello? Again, I don't know. I mean, unless it's a 55 and better community or something that is located down right near or at the university, it's really all encompassing. You're gonna find young singles, you're gonna find folks, a lot of first-time house buyers, believe it or not, because it actually is really affordable living. So we see a lot of first-time home buyers. We see a lot of folks who are upsizing and downsizing. And then we have folks who are also looking because they want lakeside living. To give you a prime example, when I pulled it up, today, right now, there are 25 active homes, 3 of which are actually waterfront. Now, from what I could see from the descriptions, 2 of the 3 probably need some love, but still the prices for waterfront homes is going to be between $585,000 and $750,000. I think that is outstanding, because if you think about a lot of the new construction, say at North Point, you're coming in at a price point of $700,000 to $800,000, and that's for brand new construction. So here you can live on the lake, really enjoy it. Not extra for you to have your own dock. You can build your own dock. You can utilize your own dock. No extra fees, no restrictions. Obviously, it's an HOA. It's an active HOA. So you would definitely have to get approval like you would for anything else that you're changing on the exterior of your home. Let's get back to the road, see what else we can see. Just pulled into, this is beach 5. So just pulled in here. This one looks like an elevated, and look, I'm the only one here. No one else is here. So if you want to come and contemplate your life decisions, you can do that. Oh, there are some people down here swimming. They must have walked or rode their bikes. So let's talk about the amenities. As you can see behind me, we are sitting at beach 5. So the big one that everybody obviously loves living here for is going to be the beaches. 5 different beaches, all of those are included in your HOA. What are you wondering? Are the HOA fees? You're sure they must be thousands of dollars? Well, as of right now, because I'm looking at the MLS sheet, currently they're a little over $1,100 for the year. So that's what, like $100 a month? That's not bad. Now they are billed annually or quarterly, I believe. The other thing I want you to know is if you are looking at moving into the area, there's also a transfer fee. So when you buy a new house here, for them to set you up in the computer and everything, does not include your barcode. They're going to charge you for that. But it actually runs $850. So that doesn't include anything. That's just to put your name and information into the computer. So do keep that in mind, because that's something that may surprise you at the closing table that you come up with, because you remember when you're sitting at the closing or when you see the numbers coming to the closing table, you might wonder what that $850 is for, and that's what it is for. Moving on, let's talk about what else is included with this $1,200 a year. Well, we already said the beaches, that's the big one. Access to golf does not include a golf membership, but obviously it's in your backyard. So that can make it very, very easy and very open and accessible for somebody who enjoys golf. Or if you have guests coming in and you want them to be able to play golf, you as a homeowner do have access to that, but it will be an additional fee. There are a couple of different restaurants. One, I believe, is at the golf club, and then the other one is at the main entrance at the main clubhouse. There's plenty of recreational areas. As you can see, we're at one of the picnic tables. There are barbecue grills set up at all of the beaches that you can utilize for charcoal grilling, things like that. There's plenty of green space. There are pathways and walkways to enjoy, and all of that is going to be included. Also, the snow removal, security system, road maintenance, trash pickup is actually included in your fees. So you do not have to pay any extra for trash. Like for example, at my house, I have to pay for trash service, and it runs $31 a month. So that's actually included in your HOA. It is, most everyone in here is going to be public water and public sewer. So that's also a nice thing. There are basketball courts, there's a bar and lounge, there are boat launches, there are play areas. Oh, the pool, we saw the pool. That was really, really pretty. So pool membership is separate because you know what? Not everybody wants to be a member of the pool. A lot of people just want to partake in, and actually I've been following the pool on Facebook, and they evidently also have lap swim. So if you don't want to be commingling with the little ones splashing and raising ruckus, which they do, then you might want to take in and do the lap swimming at the pool. Okay, so what's next? Let's talk about how many houses are currently on the market here in Lake Monticello. Well, currently, looking at the MLS, there are 25 active listings. Now, I didn't bother to look at the pending or recently sold or anything like that. So if you were to call me up and be like, Pam, I want to live in Lake Monticello, what do we have? I actually have 25 currently different options. What does that look like? Well, the lowest priced one is actually $250,000. That's really good. And that is a main reason that people love Lake Monticello. The most expensive is actually only $750,000. Now, why do I say only? Because again, we've taken tours at Spring Creek, we've taken tours at North Point, we've taken tours all over the area, and a lot of new construction is hitting 800, 900,000, over $1 million. So for a waterfront property coming in at $750,000, and I actually peeked at this one, it's really, really pretty. There's currently one on the market for one of the waterfront homes. Those you might think are a little bit different, and they are. So 3 waterfront homes ranging in price from $585,000 all the way to $750,000. Now, obviously, the ones on the lower end of that $585,000 and $630,000 are actually in need of some love and attention, but both of them will give you that living at the lake lifestyle. So great options. And then here's new construction is also one of the options. This new construction is due to be completed. The builder is a small builder. I've worked with them before. I think they do a good product, and they actually are selling this house for $500,000. This house that I'm looking at, due, like I said, to be completed in September, 2,300 square feet, just shy of 2,400 square feet. It also has a garage, and it has a basement that's an additional 1,100 square feet. So total finished square footage is 2,392. Total finished square footage, so garage, basement, and the home is just shy of 3,994 square feet. That's a lot. That's a huge bang for your buck at $500,000 for brand new construction. So options, options, options. So Lake Monticello, inside the gate, you're looking at about, I think it's 9 or 10 different sections. Then you also have the additional, I think it's 3 additional sections giving sections that are outside the gate, so that you do not have to utilize the security, you do not have to utilize the barcodes, you don't have to utilize any gates to get in and out of where you live. So if you're having a party and you live outside the gate, your friends can just come on and plow in and join the fun at your house. The community overall is big. See, check that out. Look how big it is. Wide variety. So whether you want to feel the security of living inside a gated community, or if you are good to go with being part of the community, you're still going to have to pay HOA dues. And living outside the gate, your choice. Totally up to you. All right, Well, let's go take a wrap up and see what else I can show you before I head back to the office. Okay, we have finished the whole loop of the Jefferson Drive on the interior portion of Lake Monticello. We went down a few streets, we saw a bunch of the amenities, and what I'm going to do, so right there, as you can see, that is actually the front gate we came in, and that's also where you can go out. But what we're going to do, I'm going to take us out one of the side gates, because those are sprinkled throughout the entire drive, and then that way you can also see and get an idea of what those look like, because they're very convenient. It's a pain in the butt to have to come and go through one entrance exit, but even if just to exit, you do not need a barcode. So if you're here visiting friends, or friends are here visiting you, you can direct them out through the arm gates that are sprinkled throughout. So that's great. Here's something else that I wanted to point out. We have seen, it has been like a little petting zoo driving through here. And that, again, is one of the main reasons people love it. Because the wooded, the natural, all of that. So we saw a bunch of deer. They were actually inside in somebody's yard. When we were at one of the beaches, I heard one of the kids say, "Oh, cool, look, a snake." So there was a snake out and about, which doesn't surprise me at all. And then I just passed a little bunny rabbit who was sitting all along the side of the road enjoying his or her dinner. So if that's what you're looking for and that's what you want, again, Lake Monticello might be a really, really good fit. So after we exit, I'm going to show y'all some of the amenities, because Lake Monticello is outside of Charlottesville, but you have everything you need for immediate. So you have grocery stores. You have at least 2 grocery stores out here. One is right outside of one of the gates. And then you have pharmacies. You have, you have some medical facilities and everything else. So we are passing, and I'm going to show us what going out the gate looks like. Okay, so here we go. This is Riverside Gate, and we're going to go out through it. All you have to do is pull up, and we're out of here. See, not a big deal whatsoever. And then right across the street is actually one of the outside areas that is one of the sections outside of the gate. That's called Riverside. And that's just another chunk of Lake Monticello. So as we're heading to the first bunch of places that I wanted you to see, the amenities, if per se, for groceries and drugs and restaurants and all the fun stuff that we need in everyday life. One of the things I wanted to point out, because I don't know if you'll pick up on it as we were driving through, that is actually the variety of folks who live in Lake Monticello. There are I saw everything from, now it is of course Pride Month, so that probably increases, but still there were a ton of pride flags. I do know of several same-sex couples that live in Lake Monticello and feel very, very welcome. I know a lot of folks who have transplanted from the New York, New Jersey area into Lake Monticello and absolutely love it. I know a lot of families with first-time home purchases in Lake Monticello. So here's one of the stores. So that's going to be Tractor Supply for all of your yard and lawn needs. And then Sycamore Square is one side, but this is the other. So we're going to so there's the Lake Monticello Fire and Rescue. And there is another one of the gates right there. And then this little area has several different services. Bar and grill, chiropractors, there is an optometrist, all sorts of stuff. There's a church. So there's quite a good variety of things. And again, this is all just outside the gate. There's a jewelry store, a nail school. Across the street at this light is actually a CVS. So what we just went through was Lake Center Drive. See that? Okay, so pulling across the street, we have CVS. So you have a pharmacy there. There is a Minute Clinic, Health Hub within it. Mexican restaurant, tanning, Cup of Joe, Chinese, Mexican, local eats. That's like a little grocery store. Sports card and collectibles, Domino's, Commonwealth Dentistry. This is called Piedmont Village Plaza. So here is the next main area. So right now we are pulling in, and one of the things that's on the corner is going to be two different banks. There is a market, which is a gas station, and also they do really good food like sandwiches and stuff. So that gives you a general idea of the services, amenities that are available near and to Lake Monticello. There are some additional ones, but they're just sort of sprinkled. So there might be a massage therapist, or there are several different churches that are sprinkled around, different denominations. A couple of different restaurants that are very small. Right now we're passing a landscaping company that's sort of a standalone kind of thing. So, but you can see everything you need, you have access to out here in Fluvanna, very near Lake Monticello. Okay, well there you go. I'm going to let you get on to all the stuff that you have to do. I'm going to go meet a friend of mine. We are scheduled to have a date and go see a movie that she said she had been wanting to see. So I'm going to go do that. You have a great afternoon and enjoy yourself. If there is something I can do to help you, please drop me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call. I would love to chat with you about living in Charlottesville. Even if it's outside of Charlottesville, that's okay. I got you covered. Don't worry about it. It's A-okay. Also, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the content, okay? There is lots and lots going on, and I don't want you to miss any of it. If there's something that I can actually do for you, if you have a suggestion, I would love to hear it. Somebody suggested a Charlottesville neighborhood that I have not done a video on, so I totally appreciate that. I'm going to add their suggestion on to my recording request. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon, and hopefully we'll be talking about living in Charlottesville. Bye!